Hi, I'm back. So I guess this will be part two. Apparently, with the software we're using, there's a 15-minute max on video recordings, and this has gone a little longer than I was expected. But here I have pulled up again my draft, and I was just going to walk through what is pretty much wrong with it and why it is an APA style paper, and then I'll end up showing you my final, and we can look at why that is an AP style paper. So I saw that the video ended with me talking about the headline. So a couple other major errors just off the bat. It is not double spaced, which it should have been. And then the other big error with AP style papers is the paragraph length. So some of these paragraphs get very lengthy, like 7, 8 sentences. That's just something I'm used to doing, not necessarily writing 8 sentence paragraphs, but 5 to 7 sentences. I feel like growing up, that's kind of what you're always taught is a 5 to 7 sentence. However, with AP style, it should be 3 sentences, which I do not think I wrote a single 3 sentence paragraph in this entire paper. Um, a couple other major errors right off the bat is my sources. We were supposed to use direct sources, so we were supposed to go out and interview someone and then incorporate that into our paper. However, I did not quite understand that, and I got my sources off the internet. I took them from other news articles that interviewed people that backed up what I was saying. And then, as you can see right here, I cited it like an APA style paper. And you can even see all the way down here, I even have my references, which I don't think most people had when they turned in an AP style paper because they were the one collecting the info unless they had a lot of research, which I don't think anyone did. However, I could be wrong about that. Another issue is this paragraph right here. It uses a direct quote, well, not a direct quote, but it uses a quote. However, in an AP style paper, the quote should be the entire paragraph. So it should have ended here, and then I should have started a new paragraph, or I should have done the entire quote. So these are just like little errors that made it more of an AP or an MLA even format as opposed to an AP style. Another big rule with AP style is just how you abbreviate words. And I don't know that there's too many words in this paper that needed to be abbreviated. Some of the ones I could have done, right here you see governor. Governor could be GOV. Another one I did, you see Florida a lot, and Florida can be FLA. So I used Florida a lot in here because that's what I'm referring to is growing hemp in Florida. So I probably should have converted to using the FLA instead of just spelling it out. Another just small little error right here is this is not appropriate for AP style. When you write dates like this, it should have just been like that, July 1, 2019. I think those are the major issues with this paper. There were, of course, a couple little typos, and then there were a few other errors. However, those were the big no-nos with writing an AP style paper. So what I want to do is then just show you this was my final draft. I went from a 75 to a 95, and other than a few missed commas and a few little things, everything was more aligned with what it should be. So you see that I shortened the headline and I also capitalized at the appropriate places. I have it now double spaced. You see this little July 1, I had fixed that. I didn't abbreviate governor, and I don't really know that I abbreviated Florida in this. I just have this habit of not using abbreviations, and I don't really know that it's a good habit because when you're writing, sometimes abbreviations are good. That way you're not constantly writing the same word. However, I've just never really liked abbreviations or conjunctions, and I've never really used them. However, if I go into this field, I should probably get a little better at using them at times. So then you see down here, this entire paragraph is one quote, and it's a direct quote. And then you see down here, again, not that, but right here, it's an entire paragraph, and it's a direct quote, which is how it should be. And then there was no need for references because I had gotten my sources and I appropriately cited them like this, and then like this, where I cite it in the paper. So those were just the major differences. It was just the spacing, the headlines, when to be using abbreviations and when not to be. That's also important, is knowing when not to use abbreviations. And then just making my sources direct quotes, but also paragraphs. So that was pretty much what I learned from AP Style and what the differences are. I would really say that's my biggest takeaway, is the differences. So then I wanted to go back to my PowerPoint, and I wanted to continue talking about the rest of the required criteria for this final. So we went through my aha moment, which was a lot. It was meeting with Whitney. It was learning what an AP style paper should be and the expectations for one. So now I would like to move on to what could be included. The only thing that I really kind of wish was included, which wasn't a big issue, was if we go into the modules and we go down to the module that I'm referring to, which was week 6, and then if you look at the assignments, which again, this isn't a big difference. I guess it's more of a personal preference, as I really like structure. And so the template was just, it was short. And now that I know AP style, it makes sense to me. I understand this a lot better. However, I think I just would have benefited from a fully written paper example. Again, I think it's just my learning style. I just work best with more structure, but also just a lot of criteria and something to model what I should be doing. I think that really would have helped me, especially because this was my first time writing AP style, and I just think it would have helped me. But other than that, I think everything was included in the module. I think when I went back after meeting with Whitney and rewatched the videos and re-looked at everything made a lot more sense. I just kind of wish there was that deeper, I guess, example of what my paper should look like and something I could mimic. So my proficiency, I would say I'm a 7. I'm definitely not below a 5. I feel confident that I could write an AP style paper. I feel confident that I could check someone's AP style paper, that I could make sure that the words are correct, and that the basic criteria is there. However, I wouldn't say I'm a 10. I would say that a 9 or a 10 would be someone doing this every day, working for a news company. They know the rules. They know exactly how to write an AP style paper. And I definitely don't feel I'm there. I feel like if I was asked to write an AP style paper, I could easily get an A on the assignment, that the structure would be right, the format would be correct. However, I do believe there would be times that I would struggle. There would be things that I'd be uncertain about, how to cite certain things, or maybe certain little rules that we just weren't able to touch in class just because this course was only one semester. And I just don't know that you can be at a 10 after one semester. However, I definitely do feel confident in the material for never have seen this style or even have heard of it before the class. So yeah, I would definitely say I'm a 7. No expert, but no amateur, and I feel very confident. So I think that's it, and I just want to thank you for a great semester. I learned so much. I've really changed as a writer, and I hope that you're my teacher again. So thanks.